It's really an honour to have a job that you 95% of the time really love doing with people that you love.
One of Australia's all-time great rock bands, Baby Animals, are back with a brand new single covering Motörhead's Ace of Spades. They're hitting the road as part of the massive Red Hot Summer Tour alongside ZZ Top, George Thorogood, The Living End and a stack of legends. We caught up with the absolute powerhouse that is Suze DeMarchi from Baby Animals ahead of their show at Roche Estate on Saturday the 3rd of May. We have to talk about this brand new single that's coming out tomorrow. It's Ace of Spades by Motörhead. Tell me about how it came about and what we can expect.
Yeah. Oh, well, first of all, we took forever to try and figure out because we're in the process of making a new record. We wanted to put a cover in because it's nice to just always sort of do, something that you love that you can reimagine a bit. But we just couldn't decide on one. And we were kind of talking about it backstage at some show, and Chris Chaney was the one that actually suggested it. We'll do Ace of Spades, And so we all had a little kind of giggle because, it wasn't off the top of my head a song that I would have thought about. So we sort of started thinking about it, and I thought, well, if we can make it a little like ballroom blitzy and sort of, try and fool with it a bit and sort of make it so that it sounds like us, we did that. So it was just a sort of a challenge in a way, but it's such a cool song. It's a very poppy song, actually, because it's like 3-4 chords. It's a simple song. It's super heavy, the Motörhead, and so I didn't want it to be that heavy. And then, beautiful Chris, we roped him in to come and do a solo, and he just was great, and it was nice to have him on it. And so the dueling guitar players, because those guys together are, they both love each other and they're both very respectful of each other's sort of playing. And so it was really nice to have them both playing on it together and in a respectful kind of, on a, because Chris is brilliant. He's just one of the greatest guitar players I think Australia has. And I think Dave is also. So, so I think it came out great and it makes me happy,
Yeah, totally. And would you say that it's like, does it lean into what you're creating when it comes to the rest of the album or?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the vibe?
The album is like, it started with the idea of, obviously, you don't have an idea when you're starting a record, but for me it was a little bit like, I want to do something that sort of is reflective of all of the songs that we grew up listening to, but the songs that made me want to be in a band. And so, for instance, there's this band that I grew up with called the Rockets in Perth. They're not around anymore, but they are the band that made me want to be in a band,
Wow.
So, and they were a kind of a hardcore 2 guitars, punky kind of rock band, very sort of, New York Dollsy kind of vibe. And then ABBA, so those were my sort of things, I suppose.
Yeah, wow.
The crossover of the pop world, because I loved Queen and I loved, Blondie and all that stuff. And then I also loved the heavy guitar-based music, the English rock, Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and all that stuff. So this album is going to be, well, it's going to sound like us, but that's kind of my concept, the idea of let's go back to the stuff that, really made us want to be in a band.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We'll see. It might not sound anything like it. It'll just sound like us. So
yeah, okay.
But it's very exciting. I haven't felt like this for a long time, like just to be excited to write and that process of making a record. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, half the band's in Melbourne and half's in Sydney, so we have to do it sort of bit by bit and sporadically, and we just sort of do it that way. But
yeah, what do you think the biggest difference is that's making you excited about this?
I don't know. I think I really don't know why. I think probably when I moved back from the States, it was just sort of like we did a record straight away, which was a long time ago, but we just did as many shows as we could. I just needed to work. Like, I just wanted to work, which is kind of why I came back here. And I haven't really felt this since then. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm excited about the songs. My energy of writing, you know, when you feel like writing is really turned on. And I don't know what turns on. It just does when it does. You know it's like.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Yeah. And also the band has had a bit of a sort of change lineup wise. Mick went on to his other stuff. And then Ricky has come in and started playing with us. Ricky was our sound guy for 15 years and he's now playing drums. And I didn't know he played drums. So he filled in for Mick one gig and he was playing like the old stuff, like the old way. And and then, you know, just things that happened at that timing wise, it created a sort of a new energy, I suppose. That helps.
You're about to hit the road with the Red Hot Summer Tour, which features a lineup like ZZ Top, George Thorogood, The Living End, Rose Tattoo, and Dallas Fresca. How does it feel getting to hit the road with all those legends?
I'm so excited. Everybody's very excited about this one because it's ZZ Top, obviously. I mean,
Crazy.
Growing up with that, I mean, I was, they're just such an iconic sounding band. And George Thorogood as well, because I loved George Thorogood when I was growing up, but that bluesy rock thing. And The Living End, we always loved playing with those guys because they're one of the greatest live bands in Australia or in the world. They're great. All of them. Dallas Fresca is great. Love her. And, so I'm very excited. Very excited, doing lots of working out, trying to get strong. So I can we just came off the road anyway. We've got like a 2-3 week break. So we have been doing a lot of shows, but it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
How do you prepare for going on tour?
I do my little Pilates thing over there.
Oh, nice.
I have a little machine. I won't show you my bed because I have my little machine.
Cute.
I do that. I've been doing that since the 80s.
Wow.
That's all I do. And doing shows is great because it's really great, you know, for your cardio and stuff. It's just like having a workout.
Yeah, it would be. And look, there's something uniquely like Aussie about getting to play an outdoor rock festival. One of the last times that I saw you play was actually at Gumball. Do you remember that was it last year?
Yeah, was that the one with all the tents?
Yes.
And it was, you know, all the fairy lights and tents. It was a really nice sort of vibe there. I love that.
Yeah. How do you go about like, you still draw so much power and presence to the stage, and just the way that you carry yourself is very inspiring. Yeah, I don't even know what I want to ask from that, but like, what's changed?
Nothing has changed, to be honest with you, only except my bones are bad now. Like my neck is messed up. Nothing has changed vibe-wise, like feeling-wise. The feeling of being. I mean, the feeling I got on my very first gig when I was 17 and I had no idea what to expect. That's when I knew I wanted to do this. That's why when I found out that first show was when I knew I was meant to do what I'm doing for a living, you know, for my job. And it hasn't changed. It's really an honor to have a job that you 95% of the time really love doing with people that you love. The 5%, you know, there's a lot of travel and a lot of that stuff. And that is, you know, every job has something. But I still feel the same. I'm still as excited about coming up, you know, shows coming up. I still feel like I want to play as long as I can for you know, as much as I can. I always say yes to shows generally because I think you need to play as much as you can while you can, especially now I'm older. I'm very aware of time and how much time people have. But I look at people like Susie Quattro, who is also one of my idols, and she's 75, I think, or 4.
Yeah.
I don't want to add a year because she'll get mad. She's like unbelievable, and she's tiny, and she holds that massive heavy bass. she's unreal. She's such a inspiration, and nothing stops her. She just is like a bulldog. She just goes, and always working. I love that, and I think there's no reason that you should have to stop playing if you can. People still turn up. I'm going to play.
Yeah, you know? Totally.
Thank God for us. I'm a child. Like, I feel like a kid. I know I'm not, but I'm. I feel that spirit still. That young 18-year-old idiot that really doesn't think about too much else.
Is there anything that you've that's been in the back of your head for a long time that you really want to do still? That you haven't got to?
I did for a while think about, doing something like theatrical. But then I just thought, it's you have to combine a lot of worlds. I just love doing this. I've done the solo thing. I really don't like it. I like being in a band. It just makes me happy, and it's much more fun. But what else? I don't know. I've done a lot of things that I wanted to do. I just want to keep playing for as long as I'm allowed to, as long as we can, as long as everyone's healthy and having fun and enjoying it and being creative. I feel very lucky to do that anyway. So I'm good with whatever,
Yeah, excellent. And just going back to the album before I let you go, do you have a estimated release date, or when can we hear it?
We'll put this single out, then we'll put another single out before the end of the year, and then probably I would say January, February.
Okay.
We'll put the album out. Yeah.
Amazing.
We're just doing it, however, it's not, there are no rules anymore, so put it out when you can. Probably, but definitely early next year.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I can't wait to see you here in the Hunter Valley on the 3rd of May.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, so nice to meet you too. I hope that you have a fab day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank